David, that GDP number today, we had Jim Chalmers on the show just a little while ago. The government could be navigating a soft landing for the economy. Obviously, a lot of people, and I put this to him, are still struggling. A lot of people doing it tough in the face of high inflation and high interest rates. But we might have seen the low point in the cycle when it comes to economic growth, David.
Well, the trend is down, so I think the chances of getting a soft landing diminish. It's still possible, but there is a massive wildcard factor in this, and one of the reasons why the RBA is sitting on the sidelines and waiting before it cuts rates is the size of the ACTU-inspired wage increases that will start to flow through into the economy. Now, if you disaggregate the numbers, you can see that growth in our powerhouse states of New South Wales and Victoria is either negative or completely flat. So we're being held aloft by minerals and other exports at the moment. And you've got businesses that are starting to falter. So with higher wage demands placed on them, it is entirely possible that we'll start seeing increasing moderating growth, high inflation, which may come down a quarter of a basis point, but that's not going to be enough to help really struggling families with their mortgages. And you're going to see the cost of unemployment starting to rise. So, as we go quarter by quarter and growth continues to moderate to be, as the Treasurer described earlier, weak, the chances of a soft landing may be becoming more remote.
To you, Eamonn Fitzpatrick, on this, because we talk obviously economics, but in the context of the political cycle as well. David's not confident of the soft landing, or says that the chances might be increasingly remote. What's your view, particularly when you look at the prospect for rate cuts later in the year?
Well, I mean, I think there's a couple of things that have happened there, partly in terms of, look, this is a government. I mean, you've heard from Jim Chalmers directly. His number one issue is to get on top of inflation, and he's continuing to do that. Inflation is also moderating. Let's not forget that. Are we out of the woods? No one is suggesting that. Are things easy for people? No, he's not saying that. Neither is this government. But I think what we do have is an entire government focused on this very issue. And that's what we'll see between now and the next federal election. Let's not forget too, there'll be some real impact points between now and next May if the government goes to full term. There's a Queensland state election in October, of course. Queensland always a key state for many reasons, a big resource state, and also Western Australia comes on March 8th. So, there'll be a lot of back and forth over who can deliver on making life better for people, taking the pressure off. And rates is huge. I think one of the things actually that will start to do a lot is just this level of increased transparency that we're seeing that Chalmers has imposed on the Reserve Bank. I think that is really sort of starting to, and I look forward to the next press conference. But look, there's a lot of time left to go to the next election. Are we due for a soft landing? I don't think, I'm not going to make that assumption either. And this will be the number one issue
Eamonn,
between now and next May.
And David, gents, great to see you both.